Hello, my name is Sehee Choi, and my English name will be Lucia. I am from South Korea, and I have done my MSc in management at Nyenrode in 2017, and I have graduated in 2019. And I also worked as a marketing colleague. I also worked at a marketing department as an international marketing manager. And that was also 2 years ago already. And afterwards, I returned to Korea, and now I've become an English teacher and also doing some freelancing works for writing English, or also doing some marketing on the freelance side too. Actually, the whole atmosphere really attracted me. I didn't know Nyenrode in the beginning, to be honest. I was looking for schools in Amsterdam or Rotterdam in the beginning, but later on I had a chance to meet a marketeer from Nyenrode Business University in Seoul. So they traveled to Seoul for a school information session, and that's how I got to know them, know my school, and I really got attracted to the whole atmosphere. That it was not only about the academic depth, but also it was about the whole student life that Nyenrode was providing for students, and that really attracted me a lot. And also the thing that Nyenrode is a really prestigious university in the Netherlands, and I thought this could be a really great gateway for me to go into the society, but also get integrated into the Dutch culture. And also the third part was actually the alumni network, that Nyenrode has a really strong alumni network. And that was also the main reason why I thought, Nyenrode could help me settle into the Dutch job market, or also the social life of while I live in the Netherlands. In Dutch, I would say, I learned Dutch a little bit, so I know the word. In Dutch, you would say rustig, which is rustig. It means very relaxed. So I really wanted to, I'm a person who fits into a relaxed environment, not in a very city, busy, competitive environment. And I was actually comparing this environment a lot, the schools a lot, between England, Germany, and the Netherlands. And those were the three main countries that I was comparing, and the Netherlands was the most relaxed one for me, I would say. And also the financial part was pretty important, and the school tuition fees was quite affordable. And compared to Korea also, the tuition fee between the Dutch university and the Korean universities, there's not a lot of big difference. And also, although Nyenrode is a private university, the tuition fee between Korea and the Netherlands doesn't have much difference. So that was a really attractive part as well. And of course, a lot of people know that the Dutch people speak English quite well, and they do provide a lot of English courses. So that was also a main point why I chose the Netherlands. And I had a really good chance to visit the Netherlands while I was applying for Nyenrode. There was a business game back then, and I participated in that. And actually, that was my first time in the Netherlands, actually. And before that, I haven't gone to the Netherlands before, but I really met a lot of friendly people, and I kind of clicked a lot with the culture, like, immediately. So that really helped me choose the Netherlands instead of any other European countries. Back in 2017, I had a work experience for 2.5 years. So that was actually the main reason why I chose the MSc in management. MSc was more for the entrance level of people who are looking for jobs, or maximum they have 2 or 3 working experience. But for MBA, it was more like average 3 to 5 years of work experience. So MSc in that case was more suitable for me. And for me personally, I wanted to learn also more about the academic part of the business management, but also get into the practical side, not just focusing on the practical side like MBA. So I thought MSc was better for me as a person, but also for my working career. I think there are diverse ways that I can explain this. Academic-wise, it really widened my perspective of business, and Nyenrode really provides the up-to-date information and thoughts about the whole business world and the industry. For me, I chose the digital track, which really opened my eyes on the digital transformation and what's really going on in the world. We had a lot of chance to go to uh, the innovative companies or like startup companies that are really focused on the IT development. So those kind of things really made me think a lot about what's really going on this digital world. And for me as a person, I really focus on the education industry because I worked in the education industry before, and it really helped me think a lot more about how business schools should foster business leaders, which also became my thesis project. And basically now I am practicing my learnings every day while I teach my students when I am helping them with dealing with some uncertainties and dealing with some digital problems in that case. So I've tried to really help them in that, and I do think that really benefited me a lot. And personally, Nyenrode is an environment that really every single day is different. So every single day you need to choose the balance, like find the balance, and you should be able to choose what suits you better. For example, like at the academic part is also quite intense, but also the student life is also quite intense. And in that case, you need to really find a balance of what kind of person you are. Do you really want to focus on the academic studies now, or do you really want to go and participate more in the student activities? So this is the whole personal development journey I went through, I guess. Like it's all about balancing your life and having you need to make a lot of continuous choices whenever you face some problems, I would say. And those kind of things really also made me become who I am now, that I had a really difficult decision to come back to Korea, of course, because when I went to the Netherlands, I thought that, okay, I don't know when I'm coming back, but I will really dig into the culture and really get to know the industry and the Netherlands itself. But now, back in 2021, I made a choice to come back, and that was also a personal decision that I made. And I think that really the whole personal journey that I went through at Nyenrode helped me with being confident in what I make a choice out of. I think a lot of people might know already, but South Korea is also in an Asian culture. In South Korea itself also, it's a very competitive culture, and also in the education wise, people are very competitive, students are very competitive, parents are very competitive. So it's everything's about making a full order, like full ranking of people, I would say. So also the scoring system is quite different in Korea, that although you work really hard, if someone else is better than you, then someone else gets a better score than you do. So it's always comparing to each other. And that's what that's what I think it's the biggest difference between the Dutch culture and the Korean culture. What I learned in the Netherlands, maybe it could be only Nyenrode, but at least that's what I felt, is that in the Netherlands, learning is more like sharing. So students are more motivated when they are learning from each other, and then they feel the ownership of learning when they are learning with others. Like they have the ownership of themselves, but also for the others. So you really try to engage in the class activities and the class projects and etc. And I do think the students are more motivated when they get the reward of what they have done before, while not comparing with others. They really get what you have done. So, and I do think that is also deeply implanted in the Dutch education system as well. So from the early age, you really the Dutch students really choose what they really want to do, and they get the reward out of what they have done. So I think that's also really deeply inside the Dutch education system. So I think that's the biggest difference between the Netherlands and Korea, I would say. I would like to explain about the national diversity first. At Nyenrode, there are two campuses. One is Brokele, and then it's Amsterdam. And Brokele has more Dutch students than international students, and Amsterdam has more international students than Dutch students. At least in MSc in management, I would say. So for me, I studied at Brokele, and we had like 70% or 60 to 70% Dutch students, and about 30 to 40% of international students. And in Amsterdam, maybe I'm not correct, but I do think that the percentage of internationals are more higher in Amsterdam. And like nationality wise, there's a lot of Asian students, like Indians, Chinese, people from Korea, from that side. Also, there's a lot of European students, like Italians, Belgians, Germans, and I think that's the diversity is growing more and more. And sometimes, of course, you can see some American or South American students too. So that's how the diversity goes on. For me, the reason why I chose the Brokele campus is because it was more Dutch, and it had more Dutch culture embodied into it, I would say. So because my purpose of studying abroad, and especially the Netherlands, was I really wanted to live in the Netherlands before. I thought that if I want to become really integrated into this society and culture, I thought it would be better for me to choose where more Dutch culture is there. So that's why I chose Brokele. But a lot of students, of course, choose Amsterdam too, because they want the city lifestyle, and also they want more globalized environment. And also there's a lot of companies around you where you could easily have a coffee chat later on when you are finding a job. So I think there's a pros and cons for living in both campuses. And also I want to mention one more thing, that since you asked about the clubs and organizations, in Brokele there's a student association, and also in Amsterdam there's also a student association. At least in Brokele there's about like 40 to 50 student clubs in one campus, and a lot of students join, like sometimes they join 3 or 4 clubs, or when they're maximum, like there's no maximum number, so you can join as much as club you want. In Amsterdam, I think the number is a little less, but still there's a lot of student clubs and activities going on in Amsterdam too. So, and the good thing about the Nyenrode is that even you are an international, all the student clubs, most of them are the activities are held in English, so you can join their clubs no matter what. Like you can speak English there, and you can join them as an international. Especially for Nyenrode international students, I would say try to enjoy the school activities to the fullest. Of course you do, like it doesn't matter with academic or student society, anything. Like for the academic part, go to the fullest, study hard. Like that's the main reason why you came to Nyenrode and to the Netherlands at first. But also try to really get integrated into the whole society around you, and try to make new friends, not only the international but also the Dutch people. Sometimes Dutch people's there's a prejudice that Dutch people are very open. Of course they are open, they are good with small talks, but if you really want to get into their society, and also if you really want to make friends with Dutch people, you also need to work hard, and you also need to put effort into the whole relationship of the friendship, I would say. So try to really get engaged into the whole society and the activities at school, at the university. As I told you, every day will be quite dynamic. So your academic lifestyle, your student lifestyle, try to find your balance and do not neglect the academic learning. Like some people do kind of forget about the learning part and try really focus on the student lifestyle only. The last one would be actually learn Dutch. Like when you first get there, of course, a lot of people say, yeah, the Dutch people Dutch people speak English a lot, and you get the courses all in English, so there's no problem. Of course, there's no problem with the learning part, but I would say if there are 2 or 3 Dutch people around you, they immediately switch to Dutch, and then I would say I don't think that's something to blame, because even in Korea, I would say, like if I am around with 2 or 3 Koreans and there's one international, it's also an effort to switch the language for native speakers. So think that the English is also Dutch people's second language. So I would say if you put a small effort into learning Dutch, then the Dutch people really appreciate it. They will help you pick up the language later, and eventually it will really make your life in the Netherlands more fruitful in the end.